Hi, so welcome to Saareeb's Yummy. So today we're going to be making a window omelette or just an omelette in a different way. So for this you're going to need bread, eggs, pepper, onions, carrots and chilies if you prefer. So firstly what I'm going to do is start off by peeling a small sized carrot. So you just need one whole carrot, that's not too big, just a small sized one. Cut that into small little pieces, so little cubes. So finely dice them. And then shift it to a side. So I've got a chopping board that comes with 2 trays. You can get this online. It is much more easier as well to put your dicings to. Then we're gonna cut a onion. So I'm using a white onion that I'm gonna cut finely into little cubes again. So dicing the onions finely. So make sure that the dicing is not too large and it is small, just so it looks neat when it goes onto the bread. Now for the pepper you can use a green capsicum or a yellow one as well. I'm using red just cause it's a nice colour. So I'm not going to use more than half of this pepper. The remainder of it you can use for a salad or any other dish that you may want to use it for. So finally cut the pepper into small little dices, shifting it aside. And then with the chilies, it is absolutely a choice. It doesn't have to be there, but it tastes good. So I'm using 3 small chilies as I'm going to make 2 omelettes. So I'm going to equally put the chilies into both of them. So just cut them in a small round motion, shifting them to a side, and here is our veg cut to go onto the omelette. So now we're going to need 2 breads and 2 eggs. So what we're going to do with the bread is cut a window through it. The reason why I call it a window is because you'll see I'm cutting a square right from the bread, making sure that the knife is not touching the crust. If you do touch the crust, then unfortunately you will need to start again with a fresh bread. So just firmly put your knife into the bread, cutting it into a square shape. Once that's done, put the square through and take off the crust, pop that to a side, and then same with the next bread. So that's the window put through to the bread. Now what we're going to do is we're going to need a pan that you're going to heat up. You're going to need either butter or oil. I'm going to use butter. And we're going to pop that onto the pan, letting it melt. So you do want to keep your pan on low heat when you're starting off. And then gradually increase the heat as the butter starts melting. So I would just use a spoon and just spread the butter all over the pan just so that the butter is equally spread, or you can use like a butter brush as well if that's easier for yourself. Now we're going to put in the bread. We're going to crack an egg, making sure none of the bits of the egg go into the bread itself. Once you've done that, just pop that aside, and then we're going to get our onions. We're going to add them onto the bread, and what you can do is if any of those edge out, you can just get a spoon and tuck it back in. I'm just using a spoon to push it in just so all my other veg can go in. So I'm going to put in carrots and peppers and then my green chilies. Instead of green chilies you can use also red chili flakes that do the same job. I prefer to use fresh ones. And then now we're going to add in some salt to taste. And we're going to add in some chili powder, just a pinch of it. And some cumin powder, and again just a pinch of it. You don't want too much. The reason why I'm putting this in is just to bring out more flavour, but again it is a preference. You don't have to add anything in if you don't want to. And then we're going to add in the piece that we cut off from the bread and add that onto the top. At this stage, if the filling starts to pop out, don't worry about it, that's what it's meant to do. And then as we go, as you can see on the side, the butter's drying out, so we're going to add in some more butter just to make sure that the bread does not stick at the bottom. Now you can toast this for 2 or 3 minutes, it depends on how toasted you want your bread. And then you just flip it over to the next side, and then repeat the process by adding some more butter in or some oil. Let it toast up. So you don't have to use chunks of butter, you can just use little bits as you go, as required. Make sure that both of the sides of the bread are golden brown, so you don't want an undercooked toasted omelette. And then we're just going to flip it back around again to make sure that it's correctly done, and at this stage it still needs a bit more cooking on the back, so we're going to flip it back around. And again add some more butter. After letting it cook for about another 2 minutes, we're going to take it off the pan and transfer it over to a plate. And then for the next toast, what I've done is I've washed up the pan again, removed all the veg that was stuck on there, and again we're going to repeat the same process using butter, eggs, onions, carrots, pepper and chillies, salt to taste, chili powder to taste and cumin. So just adding butter as you go, as required, let it toast up. Make sure it's equally cooked on both sides, so when you're biting into it you get a good crunch. And then transfer that over to a plate. So what I've done from the plate is I've put it onto a chopping board, so from there what I'm going to do is from the edge of the bread I'm going to cut downwards into a triangle shape, making it into a sandwich. And then I'm going to show you how the inside looks. So the bread is fully cooked, and that's your veg inside the bread, so your carrots, your peppers, your onions and your chillies. And that looks like a window omelette. And that is just a name that I've created. So what I'm going to do is pop them onto a nice plate. Now you can have this with either tea, coffee or any other drink that you want. I'm going to use Tropicana tropical juice, just because I like juice with my omelettes, but again it doesn't have to be juice, you can use anything that you want. And then here goes our final product. So guys, make sure if you like this video to subscribe. Drop down in the comments once you've tried the dish onto how it's turned out. I'd love to know. If you want me to make anything else, drop it down in the comments. I will give it a go as best as I can. And thank you for watching this video.